I have a new video for you guys because we need to talk about Lil Tay. She is an Instagram rapper who was popular in 2018 for being an 8-year-old girl who would yell into the camera, flexing all of her money and her cars.
Lil Tay just got a brand new Jaguar. This car cost me $130,000. Y'all grown man hating on me, but that ain't changing nothing. I still gonna be rich. I'm the youngest flexer of the century, and I'm only 9 years old.
Well, now people are worried about Lil Tay. She mysteriously disappeared in 2018, and recently her account has been posting some really cryptic messages. There's even a whole GoFundMe out there dedicated to saving Lil Tay. So let's get into it. If you guys don't know who Lil Tay is, no worries, I will give you a quick background because she is a young Canadian Instagram social media star who was popular in 2018 for her ridiculous videos where she would yell into the camera with a handful of cash in front of a fancy car or a big house, and she would flex to all of the haters.
Message to all y'all broke haters. Y'all ain't doing it like Lil Tay. This is why all y'all haters hate me. This cost me $200,000. I'm only 9 years old. I ain't got no license, but I still drive this sports car. Your favorite rapper ain't even doing it like Lil Tay.
Back then, she was only like 8 years old, so obviously she wasn't running all of this. Her older brother named Jason was a big part of making Lil Tay famous. Her real name is actually Claire Hope, and her older brother Jason ran her social media accounts like he is currently. You guys may have noticed recently her brother has been posting some really cryptic messages about what's been going on with Lil Tay. Her last Instagram post was in June 2018, and it was pretty much a goodbye and thank you to a rapper who passed away. After that post, her account went silent, and it hasn't posted in years. At that time, a lot of people, including myself, thought that maybe Lil Tay was taking a little social media break because she was recently exposed for, the money and the cars and all of that, because it turns out the cash and the cars and the houses weren't actually Lil Tay's, which I think we all probably could have guessed that, but it turns out her mom was supposedly a realtor, and she would use houses that were open for sale to film Lil Tay's videos in front of, and supposedly her mom's clients were speaking out against what she was doing, so I thought that's why she got off the scene and why she stopped posting on social media, because people found out that it wasn't really all her money and her cars, which I think we all knew that in the first place. But the real reason is a lot less superficial than that, and it's extremely dark. So I do want to give you guys a trigger warning before we get into this story because it involves her father, who was out of the scene for a long time, much of her life. But when he was present, he was an awful man. And some of the stories her brother has written up on this GoFundMe site is horrifying. So today we're going to talk about Lil Tay, where she came from, what's going on with her father, and whether she needs your help to save her. So let's go ahead and just get into it. Like I told you guys, her last post was in June 2018. And a lot was going on at that time. Her father had little to zero contact with Tay up until this point, until she became social media famous, and he decided he wanted to become part of her life again. He wanted to get a little bit of money off of what was going on with Tay. He saw an opportunity there. I mean, she was making millions of dollars as an 8-year-old girl on the internet, and he wanted to cash in on that. Lil Tay's older brother Jason is actually accusing Chris Hope, her father, of stealing millions of dollars from Lil Tay and going on vacations, surprising his wife with bougie gifts. And it's pretty crazy because Jason came with the receipts. He has tons of pictures. But the problem started way before Lil Tay was a popular Instagrammer. Back when she was just Claire Hope and staying between her parents' homes because her parents were divorced, she was going through some extremely dark moments. So up until Tay turned 5 years old, she would go and stay at her dad's for a week, then stay at her mom's for a week, and go on and off. Tay's brother is claiming that Chris had a very horrible home environment that Tay was being brought to. He claims that Chris, Tay's father, would have multiple women come to the home to hook up with him, There were no relationships. It was all just physical. They're claiming that Lil Tay was actually in the room with her father and other women while they were getting down and doing the dirty, which obviously no like 4, 3, 5-year-old should be in the room with their parents as they're hooking up. She would sometimes be in the same bed as them as they were just doing it. So that's already extremely sick and a horrible thing for a father to be doing. But it seems like when Tay would go to Chris's home, he was really only focused on himself, because when Tay would go to school, people would notice that she wasn't being taken care of. It actually turns out that Tay's mother was driving to Tay's school while Chris was taking care of her. So on her off weekends, she would go to Tay's school and bring her lunch. This is because Chris was sending Tay to school with moldy and disgusting food. And what I think is super crazy about this whole situation is that there are so many receipts. Tay's mother and her brother have been collecting these photos for years now, showing off how disgusting the food was that Tay was sent to school with. Actually, when Chris found out that Tay's mother was bringing her food during her lunches, Tay's father told her mother that if she continues to do that, he's going to start deducting some of the money that he sends off to her. Like, hey, if you keep feeding Claire these nice or adequate lunches, I'm going to start taking $10 off of the payment that I'm giving you or whatever. Such an awful thing for a father to do to his daughter. He's not providing her adequate food at all. I mean, if you see the disgusting pizza that she was sent to school with, I mean, you would understand why the mom would want to go and give her a fresh lunch every single day. Tay's clothes were also inadequate. She was wearing shoes that were broken right open, her clothes were dirty, and her classmates were making fun of her for it. Tay's mother actually messaged Chris about her shoes that she went to school in one day and was like, how does this man put this shoe onto his daughter and send her off to school when he's got all this money to pay for these women to come to his home and hook up with them? He can't spend a little bit of money to get her some fresh shoes. But dealing with this guy seems to be an absolute nightmare, especially because he is a lawyer. So he has taken advantage of his status as one and put Tay's mom in compromising situations. But things got so much worse for Tay as she was staying at her father's, because her father actually ended up getting married. His wife's name is Haney Hope, and she has also really benefited off of Tay's career. But at this point in the story, Tay is still 5 years old and she is still going between her father and her mother's home with split custody. And her father's new wife, Haney Hope, made her life a living hell when she went to her dad's. Some of these claims are extremely triggering because supposedly this woman, Haney, would make Tay watch horror films as a young girl to scare her. She would also do physical things to her, which Tay has been posting on her account pictures of her face with bruises or her back covered in marks, which I will not be sharing in this video because they are just a little bit too graphic, but those were supposedly inflicted by Haney. She and Chris would also, and this is the unspeakable, they would also go and lock Lil Tay in a closet when they would go out. So if they were going to, a date night, they would put Tay into the closet, lock her into it, and unlock her once they get home. Tay's brother Jason is claiming that the couple would go and host parties with 200 people while Tay was locked in the closet. They would be going out to dinner, posting all about it. And Tay is just at home unsupervised as a young 4 or 5-year-old girl locked into this closet. But Tay's mom didn't just sit on the sidelines and allow this to happen. She would text them, calling them out, saying, hey, yo, why don't you stop walking around like in the nude while you're around my daughter? Because Chris supposedly would walk around with his girl Haney just oh, I can't say that on YouTube. Just, not wearing anything while the kids were just around watching. At this point, things were just starting to add up and Tay's mom didn't know what to do because her daughter was having marks all over her. There were stories about the closets, which when the police actually asked the father about it, they were like, oh yeah, when they play hide and seek, they go and hide in the closet. Because Tay's father's wife, Haney, actually has a son, a younger son, who is treated like an angel in this house household, and their excuse for locking her in the closet was that she was playing hide and seek with him, which I doubt that was happening, because there were other stories like they would go and put Lil Tay by this closet for some reason and would smash her foot with the door and actually broke her foot at one point. And that's when Tay's mom was so fed up that she was like, hold up, I'm going to police. Tay's mother and brother were taking a bunch of pictures of, you know, the officers' card, markings on Tay's body, on her face and on her back, but the police weren't really stepping in and helping the situation. One day, Tay's mom picked her up and saw some of the markings on her face and on her back and all of this, and she was so fed up. She was like, hold up, we're going to the police station right now and I'm going to show them this. So the police actually opened an investigation because Tay looked incredibly bad, but the parents said that she must have just fallen on the playground. Excuse after excuse, and Tay was not having it. Neither was her mom. So shortly after the playground incident, Tay stopped living with her father and permanently moved in with her brother and her mother, which was probably the best choice for her. Her father, Chris Hope, stopped paying all child support, so he owes over $400,000 in child support, and actually they have confronted him before on camera about this. This was actually recently posted on Tay's Instagram, and here is a video of her brother confronting her father.
You owe 6 figures in child support. Do you know this? You haven't been in her life for years and now you show up? And now you want to use her career as to waive your child support expenses? How can you even explain this? And then you go on to manipulate the press to look like the hero parent.
Have a good day.
You gonna come in and mom and my sister now?
Good job, Jason.
Nice one. What about the millions of dollars you stole? Real mature, Chris. You're gonna act like you're.
So obviously this is a really messy situation, and pretty much what went down was, so Tay lived with her father and her mother on and off up until she was 5 years old, and then the playground incident happened. It was all too much, and she started living with her mom and her brother full time. She was 5 years old at this point. So then 3 years later, it's 2018, she is 8 years old and she is Instagram famous. Her videos of her flexing on all the haters with her cash and the cars and all of that were capturing the attention of millions. She actually started a music career at this point, and it seemed like Lil Tay was gonna be a social media star for the rest of her life. But then in early 2018, her father wanted to come back into her life because he saw that her career was popping off and he wanted a little bit of that. In 2018, Tay's mom actually got a report showing that, yeah, her father wants to fight in court over custody again. And when Tay heard about this news, she was extremely emotional. And this is actually a video that was recently posted on her page where you can see she is crying, she is upset. There is no sound, but you can visibly tell that she is bothered. But Lil Tay's brother Jason wasn't giving up that easily, and he actually started posting on Lil Tay's Instagram against her father, calling him out for what he put Tay through for all of these years. But because her father, Chris Hope, is a lawyer, he was able to write a fancy cease and desist letter and have those posts taken down. He also wrote a court order in Canada so that in June 2018, Tay would be forced to go live at his home. He was also using the excuse of her Instagram career for a reason not to be paying child support because she was making so much money. I mean, screw the $400,000 I owed you guys. I mean, she has enough to pay that and more. Since Chris started flexing his legal rights or whatever, he has been able to take millions of dollars from Tay and her career. Jason is claiming that he stole millions of dollars and that he actually has legally made it so that Tay cannot speak out against this. So that's probably why her brother Jason is, writing everything and posting everything, because technically Tay cannot speak out against her father according to this Canadian law or whatever he filed. Since getting access to Tay's money, he's been able to take multiple vacations to Dubai, to the Philippines, to Hawaii, to the United Kingdom, to Paris, all around. He's been gifting his wife designer gifts, living the best life. And there are so many posts about this that I truly believe them because there are so many pictures. They've been keeping their receipts. For the past 3 years, they have been banking off of Lil Tay, and supposedly she's out of all of her money. And actually, a couple days ago, April 23rd, she she started fighting in court with her mother, alongside her mother and her brother, against Chris Hope to take permanent custody over Tay and revoke all of the rights that he has granted himself. I mean, he has been an absent father for all of this time. It seems like he really just wanted to be a part of her life so that he can cash in on what's going on here. And actually in 2018, he started doing a little media press tour to convince the public that he was actually, trying to help Tay, trying to get her out of this mess. Some may believe that back then Tay was, off on edge and off the deep end because she was an 8-year-old yelling into the camera, about her money and her cars and her haters. But it all seemed very calculated and controlled. And her brother was doing this, for the Instaclout. But Chris Hope was able to take the situation and make it seem like, Tay was in a bad situation when in fact he was putting her in a far worse one. And now Tay is 11 years old and she cannot technically speak out about what she's been going through. Since the GoFundMe has gone out, they have been able to raise $12,000, which isn't, their full goal or whatever, but I'm sure they're going to be getting a lot of donations because I even saw a few $1,500 donations, so people really don't want Tay, aka Claire, to be stuck with her father, and neither do I. I mean, I do want to consider that some people believe that this could be a scam, that her brother Jason has been, calculating this thing. I mean, he is the one who was able to create this whole Tay persona and get millions of followers off of his little sister acting like a whole other person on camera. And actually a bunch of the comments on Tay's post are asking her to say it for herself. I'm not going to believe this until I see Tay say it for herself, which that cannot happen because if she legally cannot speak about it, of course her parent or her mom or her brother do not want her to speak about it on Instagram because then she's breaking a court order and that's not going to look good in the Supreme Court case against her father. And I don't want to act like I'm a sheep here and I'm just completely fooled by this if it is a scam or a prank or whatever it is, but I truly don't believe that this is one of those. I know there are some sick people out here who would take a vulnerable little girl like Lil Tay and make a whole story and get some GoFundMe cash, but these people have receipts that go back years and years now. There are so many links to Facebook pages where these people have been spending Tay's money and it looks like they're living their best lives. I mean, Tay did mysteriously disappear from the internet and that always left a really bad taste in my mouth. So even though Lil Tay might seem like she's like a bratty little 8-year-old who has all this cash and all that, Claire Hope is a real person who has gone through some really dark things as a young girl. I mean, she's only 11 years old and not only has she had to endure what her father and her stepmom put her through, but she's had to go through this whole social media thing and now she's dealing with this custody battle. It's sick because we talk about Britney Spears and her conservatorship and how Britney's father really just uses her for money. And this reminds me of like a little conservatorship. Like, it's not called a conservatorship, it's a custody battle. And whoever does win this custody will be able to do whatever they want with Lil Tay. And I'm worried for her mother because she's going against a lawyer in Canada. So of course a lawyer is going to be able to represent himself or at least find someone who could really get the job done. But that's probably why they need this extra cash support, GoFundMe support. But I do want to admit, I do think it's kind of awkward or weird because you used to see Lil Tay with all this money and stuff. It's like, what happened to all that money? But I guess her father took it. He dried it all up. She's got nothing left. And now she's empty-handed going into court, getting ready to fight a big custody battle. And she needs our support. You can say what you want about Lil Tay, the character, but this young girl, Claire, again, is a human, is a young girl who has gone through awful experiences. And I think that we need to step back and be here for her. There are so many comments on Instagram doubting what she's going through. And to be honest, the Instagram posts aren't that great. Like, they didn't explain everything that well. But if you go through the GoFundMe and go through the Facebook links they left there, I guarantee you would believe this story because there are just so many receipts. And honestly, that's why I tell people, if you're going to deal with something legally, take pictures as you go because these pictures are damning. I mean, you cannot say that her lunch and her food was not foul, moldy, and disgusting, because it was. So I'll keep you guys updated on Lil Tay in this situation, because they supposedly just went to court like, what, 2 days ago? So there will be a lot of movement, and hopefully we can find the case number and actually figure out what's going on in the courtroom. Because if this is a lie, oh my gosh, I will be so livid. But like, I took some time, and I even wrote a whole like little section in my notes, like, is this a scam? But I don't think it is. I think that people think it's a scam because Lil Tay was exposed for her mom like being a realtor and, you know, not having the cars and cash. So now people think that, oh, Lil Tay is a scam because she's an 8-year-old who used to flex like so much money. But I do not believe that they are lying about what she went through and the harm that her father caused her, okay? Anyways, I do have a P.O. box item to open for you guys. If you guys did not know, I have a P.O. box that I get packages and letters from you guys in, and I'm opening this one. It's from BGL Jewelry, which I actually feel like I've seen this before. BGL. Maybe they sent me something before. I'll have to double check, but I'm going to list everything below. Ooh, here is a, wow, here is a note right here. I love when it's typed up because I am so bad at reading. Dear Sloan, I have been following your channel for a while, and I'm glad you're speaking on child stars and exposing these gross people. As a survivor myself, I am glad that more people are speaking out against it. Making bracelets is a healing process for me, and it makes me happy. I apologize for not sending a letter before, but I'm sending one now. Oh, okay, I guess she didn't send me a letter the first time. Thank you for promoting small businesses. I have sent you 2 items from my collection, which is a blue crystal and night sky bracelet. Oh, I love that. I hope you like the jewelry, and I'm also having a 20% off sale and free shipping in America. And here's her website. I will link it below, as well as her Instagram. Continue to keep making videos because your videos have helped out so many people. Thank you so much, BGL Jewelry. I really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and see what she sent me, or they sent me. I actually don't know if it's she or he. Oh my gosh, I recognize this box. Actually, you have sent me some stuff. Actually, I believe that I wear the necklace you sent me like every single day. Oh, wow, this is so pretty. Oh my gosh, wait, you sent me the, did you send me the red one? I don't know actually. Me over here getting confused, but I actually do think I wear the one that you sent me originally like quite often, and this is so pretty. It's like a blue moment. Look at that. If I had like a lighter color shirt, it would look really good. Everything's just falling down. Okay, let it fall. But this is so pretty. Oh my gosh. Actually, the bracelet. Look at the blue. I love how they kind of go together. Like, this is a whole moment. You can't see how bright the blue is, but it really is bright. Like, I'm like, I don't have like a, oh yeah, there you go. You can kind of see how bright it is. Wow. Oh, I love this BGL. Thank you so much. I love that you made this too. It's just like, this is your therapy. Well, it's beautiful. It's like, what a great hobby to have, or a calming moment, and to come out with something so beautiful. Like, I love this so much. Thank you guys, and definitely go check out their store. I will link it below, and remember, they've got the 20% off, so go hit up that deal and support a small business. It's just like one of you guys. We're all in this together. So I will see you in a new video soon. Bye guys.